built in my soul are the love and the beauty, the presence lent, her presence lent, the lonely sound of a train in the night re-echoes the sound in my soul, in my soul, in my soul, in my soul. Dreamless in sleep, my darling was laid, and softly nearby the willow wept, the willow wept. I hope that these poems really did help bring her wound out into the open so it could be healed. Stephen Levine says that that is the way that we can illuminate the darkness, by working through our grief, not ignoring it. And that's the way to melt the armor around the heart and thus be open to experiences of joy. And surely Anne's life was filled with joy despite her loss. This is most evident in her poems about nature. This morning I woke and it was April. I heard the gentle rustle of her skirt, her pale green skirt. I laughed, since I had feared she would not come, winter having been so bitter and so infinitely long. And I will walk in all of the places where the warming sun caresses. Yes, I will walk in all the places where the warming sun caresses. Well, this poem tends to resurface every April. And this last April, my brothers and sisters in Michigan had a particularly brutal winter. Mom, we could tell you a few things about infinitely long. I will walk in all of the places where the warming sun caresses. I will walk in all of the places where the warming sun Many years after Mary Ann's passing, Anne would have to deal with the loss of another child, this one stillborn. The poem she wrote about that loss is the first one that inspired me to set her words to my music, because this was a sibling that I would have known, someone I might have been close to. Another enemy, perhaps. It's as if she lit the darkness for both of us with her words. Were there flowers never brought to blossom or music played, 'cause you did not come to stay? When you were born, dear child, without the breath of life, how very beautiful they all said you were. There has been a sorrow unrelieved through all the years, 'cause I did not see your face, your face. Nor were you named, except that return the heart of God. Of all my children, you are always there, no smiles, no secret dreams, or hopes were ever shared with me. But you are greater, you are greater on my heart. On my heart forever. Writing these poems must have helped my mother a lot, because by the time I came around, she was not a sad person. Feisty in that Irish way, but not sad. She and Emery created a lovely, warm home for 9 healthy children. But you do not get through a daily circus like the one that went on in that household without a sense of humor. Especially when you consider that 9 children and 2 parents shared one bathroom. There was no dignity or decorum whatsoever. There was no point in having a lock on the door. I'm coming in, let me in, I'm coming in. It made my mother call us all heathens. One day she looked up, and most of the heathens had flown the coop. In a matter of months, it seemed, people going off to college, the military, people getting married. It was down to just Jimmy, my little brother, me, Mom, and Dad. Dad, who was still making spaghetti for 11. Dad! Now, of all the reactions that Anne might have had to this mass exodus, melancholy might have been appropriate. It struck her funny bone. Here's a poem she wrote, realizing that at long last, she would have the once crowded bathroom all to herself. It's called The Empty Room. You have to picture her sitting at the vanity. No one is pounding on the bathroom door. No shouting clock watchers demanding his due. No carefully groomed and glamorous queens to sweep past the rubble and coolly disdain the crew at the door. No dashing young gods come screaming from hence to curse the whole gender who razor their legs. No one is complaining of sloppy roommates. No threatening by powers to move out of state. No one to inform me of all the sins committed by all of the rest of the race. No budding young dramatist conning the group. Now that couldn't have been me, by the way. I was still home. And by the way, there were plenty of other budding young dramatists. No begging, no screaming, no trading or schemes, since Cupid rode in and took over the place. Joy to you all! Well, one of the reasons there were fewer people demanding bathroom time was not a cause for joy, it was a cause for worry. At a time when a lot of young men were trying to avoid the military, my brother Tom volunteered for the Army and was sent to Vietnam. And the anxious poems that Anne wrote while Tom was overseas asked questions that no one could answer. How long is this war that you've gone to? Tom served as a crew chief on a helicopter ambulance. They were known as Angels of Mercy, landing on the battlefields to rescue wounded soldiers. He never spoke of these heroics. We only learned of them later when he was awarded the Silver Star for Bravery, an honor that was read into the congressional record shortly after his death at age 39. You see, Tom survived Vietnam, but not cancer. Tom's story is a place where my mother's art and my own intersect once again. She was compelled to write about him when he was in danger in Vietnam and when he was robbed of life by cancer. Then I was compelled to write about him too. This is May 7, 1988. Best day of my life. I'm marrying Andrea, my wife of now 26 years, and Tom was my best man. And we were all happy to see him because we thought he'd beaten the cancer at that point. But just a few months later, we learned that the cancer had spread and metastasized. And that meant that it was time to say goodbye. And I really didn't know how to do that. So I went to his bed in the hospital and I sat there while he was in a coma, sat all day. And that night, I came home and this song came out. And I went to my cousin's studio and I recorded it in one take. And I want to sing along with that recording now because at that time I was transported. This is an old tape, I can't fix it, and I don't know what I did. I can't recreate it, so I'm going to sing along with it. You may not hear me now. You may not know this voice is mine. I thought we'd have more time. I'm just a little boy. Big brother, please watch over me and help me climb that tree. I wear your hand-me-downs. My dinner place is next to you. I can use my left hand too. Hey Tom, do you remember when we were young? You went to Nam. I grew my hair long. didn't share this with anyone, but my cousin made tapes for people. It seemed that I was healing a lot of other hearts just while I was trying to heal my own.
Open the yearbook to homecoming floats and Friday hops. The memories won't stop. Gather for rosary. The grand knight fills his father's shoes. The good Lord's chosen you. Hey Tom, do you remember when we were young? You went to Nam, I grew my hair long. Some ways we're different, but some ways the same. What can I say? I'm not proud to share the name.
When Tom's son Matthew grew up and got married, he had this song played at his wedding. I wasn't able to make it, but here's what he told me later. My mother and I danced to it, and then all the aunts joined in. And my dad was already there in spirit, but it just made the feeling that much greater. 17 years later, the song still has great memories, not just of my dad, but of our whole family.
If you could hear me now, I'd let you know that we'll be fine. Just wish you had more time.
I don't have a good transition here. And it's the fault of my brother Jim. I sent him the script when I was working on it. And he knows the music. And he got to this point, and he said to his wife, "Let's watch Les Mis for comic relief." Oh, but enough levity. Time to just go right back into rip your heart out territory. These are my daughters. From my first marriage, which didn't work out. Kids and I were really close, and so that was hard. I was young and scared and stupid, and it was just hard. So I got to the point where I had to say goodbye, say that I wasn't going to be living in the same house, and I didn't do a particularly good job of that. But as soon as I left, and I was on the road, I stopped at a coffee shop, and I said goodbye again, as these words came out on a coffee house napkin. "You're such a pretty little girl. Is that a crying eye underneath that curl? You don't have to be so blue.